What could go wrong on such a beautiful day? Well, here at the League-Kempner House, just about anything. I've got a quick video for you today, but if you haven't already, you're going to want to subscribe and turn on notifications because there's always something going on here. As a nonprofit working to save this incredible piece of Galveston history, we never have a dull moment. You can check out our organization at League-KempnerHouse.org. You'll find links to our videos, and if you haven't already, there's a playlist for Season 1 that you might want to go back and catch up on all the work that we've done to date. But let's get into what's going on here today. This falls under the category of nothing is ever easy. My sister and I came down to the house to shoot a couple videos, take care of a few minor things, and while we were out running around, I decided to stop by the city and put in a work order to get a new water meter. The house has 2 meters, one that feeds the yard and one that goes into the house. The one that goes into the house wasn't turned on because we're cutting out all the pipes in the house so they could be replaced. But when we did that, we found out that apparently the water meter valve didn't close all the way, and there was a pretty good sized trickle of water coming into the basement. It wasn't doing much harm, it was just going into a bare spot and soaking into the ground, but it needed to get done. By the time we got back to the house from the city, a crew was already there. Okay, the city of Galveston has come to my rescue again. We kind of accidentally on purpose cut the city water line coming into the meter and had a fiasco last week. And now they're here replacing another meter valve to stop a leak in the house. And they got here and were working before I even got back from the city making the request. So the call out time was like a minute. I assumed it would be a pretty simple, maybe 30-40 minute job. So we said hello, went to get some lunch, and came back about 45 minutes later and found this. Okay, now I feel really bad. I don't know what's going on, but it doesn't look good. Okay, apparently it's normal because he's got a boogie board. Water was everywhere. This poor guy laid on this boogie board in this water for, I don't know, 30-40 minutes trying to get this valve replaced just by feel. They had a really powerful pump that they were using to move water over to that trench we had dug to drain to the retention pond. Look at it all. The pond was almost full. I can't imagine what this would have looked like had that pond not been there. What if you stood on that and it flipped up in your face? That'd be so funny. That'd be funny. I know sometimes there's a little bit of bureaucracy to get through in working with the city, and you'll hear more about that when I get into the sewer line replacement. But when it comes right down to it, working with the city of Galveston has been a great experience for me. Everyone I've ever dealt with has been incredibly helpful, from the building department, the landmark commission, the inspectors, and especially the public work crews. Picking up trash. This wasn't an emergency, but I've had a few emergencies in the past, and they've always come to my rescue and been cheerful while doing some gross, nasty work. So a big thanks to everyone at the city. I'm back on a walkabout, and this is one of my favorite houses. I say that about every house because I have so many, it's hard to distinguish, but this is just very unusual, and it looks very much like one just a block down on the corner of this same street. I showed that to you in a short that had all the Halloween decorations. but it's not by the same architect. Let me read you what it says in the book. This is the 1886 house that is tempting to ascribe to the architect William Roystone because the decorative floral panels in the second floor balustrade are similar to that on those of the E.W. Bessemer House at 1702 Ball, which Roystone designed. The decorative woodwork was unusual for Galveston in its emphasis on closely spaced verticals and the big scaled painted floral panels. It is interesting to note that the porch posts do not line up with the windows. Oh, they don't. Although they do frame the front double doors. Joel B. Wolfe, who built this house, was a heavy machinery, wholesale, and commission merchant. He constructed it to replace one destroyed in the fire of 1885, which we also talked about before. But I want to show you real quick while we're here out front. It's got a really interesting feature. It still has the two hitching posts. And look at the design on them. They're in great shape. It's like a knotted wooden post with this floral vine coming up and little flowers. And how would you like to paint this house? Look at the detail in those balustrades, and look above the little triangular window, the sunburst design that's painted. I just think it's a great house. We'll go around and take a side shot in a second. I know it's not this house, but while we're here, it's one of my favorite chimneys on the island. I love this little house and the chimney and all of the decorative brickwork that they've plastered through. Every house is unique and has something. You would think all gingerbread houses would look alike, but they don't. They just all have all these special little touches. This one even has up top the Widow's Walk. And if we back up and get the, let's look for cars, Joe. Joe's with me.
Here, I'm going to turn around so I can
turn around and walk. We don't want to get run over, but
backing up.
Look at the chimney caps. The chimney caps were cut in metal to mimic the style of the house. Isn't that cute? And from this angle, you can see the Widow's Walk on top. Here we are on the side of the house. I just want to show you. I can zoom in close up. Look at the corner. All the detailed work and that sun pattern. And everything. Just look at the little holes that create a pattern in that arch over the porch. There's so many different things going on. That's it for today. Remember to check out that Season 1 playlist if you're new to the channel. And if you're a subscriber already, thank you for joining us on this journey to save this historic home. We hope to see you next time here at the League-Kempner House in Galveston, Texas.